Obviously heartbreak at the end there for you. Just talk us through the game and your thoughts.
Yeah, I thought we started the game really well. Obviously winning the lead, and was pleased with them at half time, up against obviously a team that's only lost I think 1 in 17, and it was always going to be a tough task physically, but the lads stood up to it well, and then just obviously as the game went on and they pushed more players forward, and it gets like that a little bit, then went a bit more direct. We couldn't deal with that physicality, and ultimately they got their reward in the end, and it was just gutted for our lads, as we had like a really young team there. There was 5 under-18s starting, so it's been a great experience for them, but just gutted for them that they couldn't get over the line.
You mentioned the physicality there. Obviously it is literally men against boys in a way. How do you get the lads sort of prepared for that?
I think obviously we've had the previous game, so they knew what's coming. I think tonight, for the first probably 60, 70 minutes, it was like a normal football game, in the sense of like a lot of possession, a lot of play, and but then when it turns the other way and they really put it on you, I think it's hard. You could see it coming for the last 5-10 minutes. You thought we're going to break, and a little bit of quality from then, and the amount of times they just kept putting it on you. Eventually something might happen, and it did.
And obviously you've had a really tricky season domestically in the league as well. How have you sort of managed to try and get the confidence up ahead of this game?
It's been difficult, obviously through admin and losing a lot of players to the first team, and obviously getting sold, and young lads getting sold. It's left a bit of a black hole really, so it has been a difficult season, and we've had our challenges, but like we say, it's a development, and like you said tonight, with 5 young lads, under-18s players, it's going to be a great experience for them, and it's something that they can use to go forward, and when they step into first team football, because ultimately tonight is the closest this competition they get to first team football, proper first team football, with that physicality, the fans, the occasion, so it's great for them really. So I said to them there at the end, you should be proud of how far you've come in the competition, but also your performance tonight, and it just wasn't enough to get us the win.
Final one for me, and then I'll pass over. You mentioned administration a second ago. How has that impacted you? How has it's decimated the squad, obviously, but can you detail to me how that's impacted you?
Just because so many young players last season went into the first team, and then when their contracts were up, the ones that are on here now obviously left the club and went abroad or went to Crystal Palace or different clubs, and you've only got so many young players. And then we had some other young players below, like Amari Kellerman went to Villa, and other one lad to Man U and stuff like that. When you lose a big amount of players, you lose. It's hard to find that quality again unless you're going to spend big money. So we're in just that transition period at the minute, and hopefully with time we'll come back to where we were before.
Hi Pat, your keeper Harry Evans had a great game out there. How far has he come on this season?
Yeah, it's been great. From this time last year he went into the team in the 21s when he was a first year scholar, and played probably about 7 or 8 games at the end of that season, which set him up nicely for this year. And it's like you say, for keepers especially, it's like a long-term development for him, where again tonight would be a massive moment for him, where he's still an under-18, and he's getting all them balls shelled into his box and dealing with it, which you won't get week in week out in our league. So that's a great experience for him. We're really pleased with him, and he's moving on nicely, and next season will be more challenges for him, and maybe a possibility of a loan at some point and things like that into men's football on a regular basis.
Final one for me. What was you thinking behind the substitutions?
Kido was struggling with his injuries, and both were injury prone really. The right back, his calves are starting to go, and we had Quacker on the bench, so we thought just swap it over that way. And then Kido twisted his ankle, so he was struggling anyway, so swapping him near the end was probably the right thing to do, just to get some legs on the pitch. But I don't think really the subs had a big impact in what was going to happen really. So it was just them pushing 6-7 players at the top end and putting it on you. So Yeah, that was
Thank you.
difficult. No problem.
And just a quick one from me.
Yeah.
How important are games like this? Are they almost more important losing them because you get a new mentality from that, or is it just
Yeah, I
because
just
the
think
final's a bit different?
Yeah, no, I think it's been a great competition for our players. We've turned up at 3 games. First one was Grange Street Prims, which was a great experience because it was like going back to like Parks pitches, and it was like just unbelievable. But it was a great, like there was like fans there, but the pitch was like horrendous that day, and they had to find a way to win the game. And then the next 2 games were Alverton, which was 5-2 down, which you'd think we never should be here really, with about 6 minutes to go. To score 3 goals and win on pens was unbelievable. And then Belper again, we got a player sent off and had to hang on for the last 10 minutes, similar to that really, and we came through that. And tonight we just one step too far, we couldn't get over the line and make that happen, which is a shame for the lads in there. But again, for them, it's about their development, and some of them, when they step out here in front of 30,000, and the experience they've had from that you'll stand them in good